Yeah, so Rasta, how can the African go back to nature and like develop itself and go back to its roots?
Yeah, that's a good question. So you can look at it like the nature of the African or the African and nature. When you talk about the African, how can I put it? When you talk about the African,
Yeah.
our lifestyle and nature is one. So if you look at how our ancestors used to live, we lived at peace and at one with nature. So we didn't destroy nature, we looked after nature, and nature looked after us. So because we were so humble and obedient to the laws of nature, nature, the mother of all, revealed like ancient secrets and mysteries to our ancestors, which then gave them like mystical, spiritual, people use many other words for it, but they gained very sacred and ancient knowledge where they could now communicate with nature. You know what I'm saying? And influence nature because they were at one with nature and not destroying the nature. Now we've adapted other cultural influences where we don't value our nature no more. We don't obey the laws no more. We don't follow the traditions and the things that or the path that our ancestors left for us. So now you see the African wherever he goes in life, he's struggling because he strayed from nature, his culture, his traditions, his customs, and he strayed from him or herself. So you got a song from Bob Marley who says you can't run away from yourself, and that's what the African is trying to do, is run away from themselves, and wherever they go, they just keep facing the same problems because there's things that we need to do and we don't want to do it. So as for nature, the creator has given the African a wonderful continent where everything is here. Like I don't think apart from and when I talk about Africa as a continent, before I even move on, any place which is represented on the map with an A, for example, Asia, Australia, America, and all these other places, is called Africa or is part of Africa. So when you go there, you see the original and native people are all Africans and dark skinned people. So now when you talk about the continent as a whole of Africa, we have things like elephants. No one has it. You know what I'm saying? We have wildlife that no other country has. We have abundance of resources, culture. Like Africa speaks the most languages in the whole world. Like even if you just take 2, 3 countries out of Africa, we have more languages and dialects than the rest of the world, which just to show you the creative nature and the creative power of the Africans, which our ancestors used to influence the whole world. So now I've been waiting to kind of address this topic because I've heard a lot of people talking and I didn't really have the time to structure the information well, but now we're talking, I might as well just speak some small information on it. So now there's a lot of people saying that Africa is not the real name and it was given to us by some guy called Christopher Africanus or whatever, and the real name is Kabelan and all this type of stuff. What people have to understand is when you do research or when you speak, you have to have some type of resources, where you got the information from, the facts, and all these type of things. So now when you say Kabelan, there is no language or we don't know where it comes from. Alkebulan, what's the meaning? We don't know. We're just making up meanings for that word, you know what I'm saying? And then if you go back to the Greeks don't say ah. Only the Africans say ah. The Europeans say a. So they have A, B, C. We have a, be, de. You know what I'm saying? Which our alphabetical system is what is being used in Europe and in Americas right now, which they call the phonics system or the Phoenician systems. Yeah. So now, the reason why Africa was given was the name given by our ancestors is that there's a language already there, which you can't stray from the language. So the language will never get lost once you know it. So now, the word Africa or African, when you trace the origins of that word, you will see that there's a group of people in West Africa, Ghana, who speaks a language which we know the meaning of the word Africa, but the European couldn't pronounce it how we pronounced it, so they call it Africa. But our ancestors pronounced it Afrikain, which means the first people, or we came first. So now other people might want to dispute that and say I'm lying, but if there's a word called Alkebulan, there must be other words that is similar or related to that type of. There's not only one word, so you can say go, and there's going. It's related. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just have one word and that's it in that language. You know what I'm saying? So we have Afrikain. Now you come to Ghana again and you have the tribal people called the Akans. But it's only pronounced the Akan, which is the European way. When you go to other tribes and when they speak or they pronounce that word, we say Akain, which also means first. Akain for, or the, you know what I'm saying, the Akan tribe. We don't pronounce it Akan. So, also, so based on those words, or that's another word anyway, Akain. So we have Akain, but then there's loads of other words like Kania. You always have the ka in the words. You know what I'm saying? Which our ancestors, or not even our ancestors, if you come to modern Ghana today, there's people, when they speak, they refer to themselves as the Ka people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or the children of Ka. You go Egypt, the same word is there, Ka. You know what I'm saying? So the language cannot get lost. And the same place in Egypt, you will see written in stones, Ghanaian names. You know what I'm saying? Which people can't pronounce, so they pronounce it in other ways. But you have the pharaoh Tutu Kamun, yeah, which they've switched up the name. But you come to Ghana now, and we have many names or many people called Tutu. You know what I'm saying? So we had a king called Osei Tutu. The king that's ruling now is called Osei Tutu, yeah. And then, like, we have another pharaoh called Kufu, which our president is called Kufu Ado, yeah. And we have that name in many versions, Kufu, Akufu, Kufu. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just have one word. And that's it, because words come from other words. So you can't just say Kabelan and just give it some fake meaning and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so the nature of the African is he has to realize that he is first and he was given the mysteries or ancient wisdom to rule the land. And because they stopped following the laws or the rules of nature, they've fallen. You know what I'm saying? From where they were up high or their high status, they've fallen and they come down. But just because you've fallen, that don't mean you can't rise. So this is what we need to go back to tradition and start researching. So now I started researching about the language and I started realizing, okay, I've listened to so much educated people, professors and all these type of people, and they are saying a lot of words and creating meanings for them, because when you go to Egypt, the Europeans don't understand what's written on the walls. So they have to get people who who are into linguistics and all these other stuff to translate the words. But if it doesn't belong to you, how can you translate it? You know what I'm saying? So now the children who are the African children who are coming now, they coming back with their old knowledge because we are old souls just coming back. You know what I'm saying? And we know already, our ancestors already know we don't go to heaven. You just get reincarnated back here. You know what I'm saying? And people be like, how can you reincarnate back here? And in our culture, if you come to Ghana, you go to Nigeria, even all throughout Africa, you meet more than 20, 30,000 people who will tell you that their auntie, their mom, their sister, their grandma used to give birth, and if the child died, on the second one, they will mark the child. Either mark them on their face, on their ear, on their somewhere on their body, they will leave a mark. When they bury that child, the next pregnancy, that same child will be born and they will have the mark, which tells you you ain't going nowhere to chill. You know what I'm saying? You're coming back to do your work. You know what I'm saying? So we have concepts and understanding of all these things because we was true to nature. Nature reveals so much to us. So now these are mysteries that people are looking for and want to understand and want to know certain things, and they could never find it because it was hidden. You know what I'm saying? It's hidden in plain sight and it's hidden in the language. So if you don't speak the language, you won't understand. So we have a symbol in Egypt, which everyone loves and keep talking about, which is the Ankh. And sorry to tell you, it's not called the Ankh. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors called it Nkwa, which is in our, how can I say it? In our symbolism systems. You can find it in the Adinkra systems where the Ankh or the Nkwa is there already, which we use. And loads of countries don't have these symbols. It's only like certain African countries who created their own symbols or their own language, like symbolic languages, you know what I'm saying? And like the Ghanaians, which when you talk about Ghana, it's not just the Ghana you see here. There's loads of tribes, and because we live by the clan and the tribes, loads of the tribes are in other African countries, and we was represented by animals. So every tribe had an animal. And these animals, when you go to other countries, it might change. If it was a dog in another country, like they might use a lion or a leopard or that the same type of animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you go to other places in Africa, you can tell by the animal that we are all related. We are all from the same different type of clans, but the language only changes slightly, but we are all the same people. So there's like, some say there's 7, some say there's 8 tribes, but I think there's 9 tribes because 9 is the number of completion, and everything is done by the 9 in our cultures. You know what I'm saying? So even when you go to the nature of the African, you go back to the Bible, and all the characters in the Bible are all African. That's why people can't explain most of the things in the Bible, because it's only the African who can part the ocean or the sea and make people cross. And people be like, how can you say that? But if you come to the Ghana history, there was a tribal war, and the tribe who lost, they run over to Ivory Coast. When they were crossing to Ivory Coast, they had to cross the ocean or the sea. There was a priest who led them to the sea, who done a ritual where they opened the sea for them to cross the Ivory Coast. This ain't in no book. This is real life. You know what I'm saying? So this is the powers that our ancestors have. So when you come to Africa today, there's people still doing those miracles you find in the Bible. I don't see these other nations doing the same things. You know what I'm saying? We have those mysteries and the powers to do these type of things. So now, like I said, the people in the Bible are all Africans. You know what I'm saying? So we've left the clues. So when you go in the Bible, there's loads of Ghanaian names written in the Bible, like Anan, which we had the UN president, or Kofi Annan. You know what I'm saying? There's all these names, Akan names in the Bible. Why? Why in there? There's so many names. Why in all these other nations? You know what I'm saying? And the Akan that I'm talking about, and that Akain, if you go in the Bible, that word is there. Akain. Akan is in the Bible. Yeah, and that's one of the children. I think the children of Jacob, or one of them. When they list the children of Jacob, I think you see the word Akan. People can't explain it because it doesn't belong to you. It's not your language. You know what I'm saying? So when you learn our language, you realize that our language is embedded even in the English that you're speaking, that you're so proud of. Most of the words, yeah, come from the Akan or the Akang words. You know what I'm saying? So you have to really study language, like, or be a linguist to know these type of things. But we don't know. So you have a lot of people trying to explain it and give false meanings, and because we just trying to find our way or find ourselves. But what I would say is, once you lose your mother tongue, you lose control of the mother nature, or your nature that you live in, because the mother tongue is the only way we communicate with mother nature. You know what I'm saying? And every how can I say it? Every country or continent that you're from, the energy, the environment is different. You know what I'm saying? Your language is different, your skin is different, your hair is different, your food is different. So how we communicate with our land, our gods, the nature, our ancestors, that is, everything is all different. You know what I'm saying? So now people has changed that, where we've lost our way, and we've lost meaning and understanding of the language, which I think is really time to go back, because I'm explaining certain pieces, but I feel like there is loads of people that understand the language even more than me, who probably hear this and could elaborate and add more to what I'm saying. So obviously you have the Jamaicans, you know, still going back to the Akans. You have the Americans, still going back to the Akans. So most of the people in America are either from Nigeria or Ghana, and most of the people in Nigeria are Akans anyway. You know what I'm saying? We're all family, but now divided by borders, like, you know, on a map. You know what I'm saying? So you go to the Jamaica, the Jamaican flag is just the same as the Asante flag, but colors reversed. You know what I'm saying? And you go to Jamaica, loads of them name their children Akan names, like the what's it called? The athlete Asafo Pau. His name is Asafo Pau. You go Ghana, in Kumasi, we have a place called Asafo, which is the town of the warriors. You know what I'm saying? And we also say we are Asafo Ma, the children of Asafo, the warrior. You know what I'm saying? So now you go back to Egypt, and then you have the goddess or the god, who they call Asa, which basically is Asa, which is the land. You know what I'm saying? Because we call the land Asase. Well, yeah, you see it. So now these people are talking on these matters, but they don't understand who is Asa. We call it Asase, which is the Mother Earth or the land. You know what I'm saying? But they don't understand the language. So all these concepts are so new to them, like, oh, Asa, and they're talking, but what is the meaning of Asa? We don't know. So we have Asa, we have Asari, we have Asase, we have Asafo. The language does not lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if you just go to someone else's language and they just have one word and only that one word, it can't be possible. You know what I'm saying? Because all these words correlate with each other. They relate with each other. So words like you have past tense words, present tense words. You know what I'm saying? adjectives, verbs, whatever. So you have different versions of the word. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when you come, the reason why I'm saying these words are from the Akan people, because when you come here, we can give you more than 50 versions of that word compared to the one that you are basically focusing trying to explain. You know what I'm saying? And then I think I went on Wikipedia and all this, and I searched the origins of the name African or Africa. And this Christopher Africanus or whatever, there's none of his family who has the surname. Imagine the man, if he gave birth and named his children, they should have that surname Africanus. And it's a lie, because we've never met anyone called Africanus. You know what I'm saying? They're just making up stories just to confuse the thing. But we are the people that said we came first. We are the Akans or Akans. And if you say it in a different way, is if you're saying it like we came first, you say ye free. Like if you say collectively like we came first, you say ye free kind. But if you say on an individual, you say me free kind. And yes, a free kind to say in the beginning. So that's why the Bible starts off with in the beginning. But we the title that we gave to ourselves is in the beginning, a free kind. The a kind. If you say it in the beginning, you will say the kind. That's why you can't hide from the language, because the kind, a can will always appear. You know what I'm saying? You can't hide from the language. So I feel like the nature of the African, go back to your roots. Start worshiping the nature, not praying to the nature or look after them. When we say worship, you're looking after the nature. You know what I'm saying? You're respecting the environment. You respect the animals. Now we just go to the forest and kill elephants, rhinoceroses. All these animals, we're just killing them like for like stupid stuff. You know, we're killing them to do rituals, and the animal who's alive can just help you. In real life, why do you have to kill it to go and do a ritual to get money when the animal can help you? Because every tribe has their animal. So the tribe I'm from, we represented by the dog. So the dog is good luck for you. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to kill the dog to do a ritual. Just having the dog is good luck, because the dog is the watcher. He's the protector. You know what I'm saying? He makes the sounds the alarm if any harm is coming. And everyone loves the dog. You know what I'm saying? And the dog is very resilient. He's very courageous. You know what I'm saying? So every tribe has their symbol. So just you even just respecting that symbol, having that animal around, it's just giving you blessings and good luck anyway. So why do you have to kill the animal? And because we're using other people's languages, we don't understand the words that we're saying. So animal, you don't really know the meaning until you go in the dictionary. But we say aboa. Aboa means help. The animal is there to help you. He's your soulmate, like your soul animal. You know what I'm saying? So in every tribe in Ghana, you have a soul animal, which we say the spiritual animal, or akrabua. You know what I'm saying? The animal that represents your spirit. You know what I'm saying? We have that. Why do we have that? Because the animal is our help. The animal teaches us about medicine, about food. There's loads of food we didn't know we can eat until the animal was eating it. You know what I'm saying? There's loads of medicine that even birth, like when animals are giving birth, there's certain leaves that they're going to eat, which our ancestors learned these stuff and start using, so they don't have to go through things like cesareans like all these women are doing today. You know what I'm saying? Because we forgot these type of knowledges and we're losing it, and we don't want to learn it because we're so busy in other cultures. And you have to understand, you don't even know 5 or 10% of the culture, the African culture that we live in, but we call ourselves Africans, but we don't even know 5 to 10% of our, because the culture is so deep and there's so much information and there's so much knowledge and so much hidden mysteries and things that we can do. Like, like there's kids that can play with lightning and talk to lightning. Bro, I ain't never seen that type of stuff before in my life. So, Africa is the land of wonders, the land of mysteries. There's so much, all the wildlife programs you see on TV, like 80 to 90% are in Africa. But they will show you that Africa is no good. Like, it's just full of starving children and all these type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's why people like us is doing shows like this, where we have to tell our own stories. We can't let someone tell our stories and paint pictures for us. We need to tell our own stories, because when you come to Africa, it's not like the pictures that they're painting. Africa is nice women, nice food, nice weather. You know what I'm saying? We just been blessed, and I feel like we're not appreciating the blessings. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors gave us so much, and we're still, we're still talking down on them. They didn't do nothing, and all this rubbish. And now they just left us, and they're just watching us struggle. Because, bro, if you bite the hand that feeds you, they'll just leave you to be hungry. And that's what we're doing. We're not appreciating that our ancestors spilled blood on this land just to protect us, so we have somewhere to live. They fought many battles, many wars, you know what I'm saying, just so we can have this platform to talk. You know what I'm saying? So for us to do that and just be going out like some losers, I don't even understand it. You know what I'm saying? So this is the time for us to just shine the light, because that's what Akain means, the light. You know what I'm saying? So we are the children of the light, children of the sun. You know what I'm saying? Children of the Most High, and we have to start living through that means. You know what I'm saying? We have to show it by actions and not talking. We have, like, especially the African men who are supposed to be representing for the whole of Africa, and representing for the women. We are like the foundation, strong foundation, where the women can stand on and speak to the world. And we're not doing nothing, you know what I'm saying? We just here talking, and we can't see no action, you know what I'm saying? And it's time to action. We don't need violence. When I talk action, I'm not talking about violence. I'm just saying you just have to step in the right light. You know what I'm saying? When you're moving in the righteous light, no evil can harm you. Nothing can, like, you know what I'm saying? Even if you die, you're gonna come back again. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't kill you. You can only kill the flesh. You can't kill the fire, the spirit, the ether. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't kill air. You know what I'm saying? So the Creator put air in us. You know what I'm saying? Which is the power that operates the body. You know what I'm saying? That air is the spirit, is the ether. You can't kill it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have power to kill that. You know what I'm saying? You can kill the flesh, but you can't kill the source. You know what I'm saying? So whatever happens, we're going to be back anyway. You know what I'm saying? To continue the mission. So it's time for us to just live righteous, step in that light, you know what I'm saying, in a good light, and just start telling the truth. Because there's loads of elders who know the truth, and they don't want to speak about the truth. You know what I'm saying? Just based on, like, what's it called? Just based on monetary things. They're just selling us out just to gain money and all these silly little riches, which ain't going to benefit us anyway, because you're already rich. You know what I'm saying? Look at the land we live on. You know what I'm saying? People are dying for this stuff. Like, we don't even understand. People are dying for these type of things that we have, like the diamonds, the gold. Look how much killing is going on just for the gold, the diamonds, and all these resources. Why? Because people are envious. They didn't, like, some people don't have, you can just walk and pick an orange and just eat that. You know what I'm saying? You can pick a mango. People don't have this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So for you to be so blessed and you can't see it, that's why we're suffering. Because all we do is keep complaining and asking for more. And God said, it's all done. I'm finished. I've done. God said, the Bible said, he looked at what he done and said everything was good. He didn't say, like, I'm not finished yet, so I'm going to come back next week and do it. No. He said, everything I made is good. That's it. It's done. You know what I'm saying? He ain't coming to do no more. next week, tomorrow, today, it's done. It's your turn to do the rest. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, God ain't coming to do no more. Like, everything's been done perfectly. Look at the birds singing songs early in the morning. What else you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the chickens waking you up in the morning. You don't need the time. The chicken is telling you the time. You know what I'm saying? You got all this beautiful, like, nice weather, nice, like, bro, you can just eat, throw the seed anywhere and it grows. The most fertile land in the world. What are you complaining about? It's already done. We need to just stop talking and get to work. And that's it. That's the nature of the African. Stop talking and get to work. That's it.